Good afternoon. Welcome back to the Great Journey podcast. Last time where we left off, we were reading Tiger's Great Journey, the book written by our chief instructor, Sensei Marty Callahan, and we are going to be finishing the part of the introduction. This chapter was titled Believe in Yourself, and it was taking us through an explanation of what this great journey will be like for anyone on their way to their black belt, and as well as Tiger in this sweet story. From the very first day, Tiger had felt at home in the dojo, the karate practice hall. He couldn't believe that 1 full month had already gone by. He felt as though he'd been doing karate his whole life. Each day that he went to class, he wore his uniform and white belt and joined his classmates. There were boys, girls, men, and women in a full assortment of belts. All of them had sincerely welcomed him into the school. Tiger's home class met on Tuesdays at 5 p.m., and his team was the Hornets. He had found out that it was through his team leader, class leader, and assistant class leader that he would learn much of what he needed to know in order to achieve each of the early Shoka leader ranks. Jerry, a tall, thin boy who was a little younger than Tiger, was the team leader of the Hornets, and Jackie, a girl about his age with red hair, was the assistant team leader, while Tim, a new student like Tiger, was the fourth member of the Hornets. Wendy was the class leader for his home class. The class leader is responsible for helping all the students in that class. The class leader assisted students with anything that might come up. For example, tying their belts, using the bathroom, removing a student who was creating a disturbance, and seeing that a guest who came into the school was well taken care of. She wore a purple belt and appeared to be quite capable. Since he had begun, Tiger had always tried to show himself in the best way possible, because Wendy was an important person to him, especially now at the start of his training. Wendy had reassured Tiger that she would help him with whatever she could. Tiger felt good about having all this support from students who had experiences that he didn't have yet, and at the same time felt a little nervous about not knowing what was going to happen. Tiger remembered on his first day how Jackie had asked him, "Are you a little scared?" As an assistant team leader, she wore a yellow belt and more confidence than Tiger yet possessed. Tiger had nodded. "Don't worry," Jackie had said. "We all were scared at first. Just remember that we're all learning, even the black belt Shoka leaders, and we're all here to help each other, so have fun." He remembered his first day like it was yesterday. "Line up," came the first command from Wendy. All the students stepped onto the floor and quickly found their places in line. Tiger felt good about starting out. He found his place with his new classmates after the yellow belts, orange belts, green belts, purple belts, brown belts, and black belts. "Seiza," said Wendy, who gave the commands as the class leader. Tiger sat in Seiza, the sitting kneeling position used in Japanese martial arts to clear the mind and maintain a state of readiness. He joined his teammates in reciting the Dojo Creed. He liked the sound and the feel of everyone promising together to seek perfection of character, be faithful, endeavor, respect others, and refrain from violent behavior. Tiger felt his body become warm and his heartbeat quicken as he and his teammates performed the warm-up exercises, which included leaning forward and back from a wide stance, stretching down and across, and stretching the legs, hips, arms, and torso from a variety of positions. Then it was time to begin the training. "Empty your mind," Sensei told the class. Tiger had never been told to do that before, but he liked how it felt to stop thinking about school and chores and other things, and to focus on how his body felt as he practiced middle body punches, rising blocks, outside forearm blocks, and side snap kicks. Tiger tried to focus his attention on his imaginary opponent, but he couldn't help but notice how crisply and strongly many of his teammates performed the techniques. How he wanted to become as good as they were. "You may have to practice a technique as many as 10,000 times before you master it," Sensei told the class. That number boggled Tiger's mind. Sensei said, "The way to become a black belt Shoka leader is to practice every day." "Os," the students said together. "Os" is a Japanese martial arts word that when used in this way shows the teacher that the students are listening and that they intend to do their best. That first day had been incredible and inspired Tiger to dream about the changes that karate would bring to his life. At the end of Tiger's first month in the dojo, Sensei called him into his office. Sensei carefully slid a heavy book bound in worn leather off the shelf behind him. Then he sat down next to Tiger and opened the great book. Tiger gazed at it in wonder. This is the book of the empty mind, Tiger. One day you will understand the significance of it. Right now, all you see are blank pages. But someday in the not too distant future, the true meaning will become known to you. Tiger looked closely at Sensei. He knew that something important was being shown to him, and he sensed this strong but gentle man would continue to play an important role in his life. Use your imagination, Tiger. It is your most powerful weapon. It will cut through the fog and confusion and clear your mind. Then you can envision a better future. Later that night, before it was time to go to bed, Tiger closed his eyes and began to slip into an imaginary world. So that's the end of our introduction. And next time when we come back, we'll be starting chapter 1, the book of the empty mind. Hope you all have a great day. Take care.